Hello, folks. That's 212 back. And tonight, we're going to be doing a prediction pit video for Japanese Pro Wrestling again. But this time, it will not be for New Japan. Instead, if anyone who's bothered to be an aficionado of the company this guy's entrance theme is from, we're doing it for Pro Wrestling Noah's Destination 2022. Coming to us live from the Budokan, Nippon Budokan in Tokyo. 10 matches on the board. Let's run them down. Opening match, an 8-man tag team war. Daisuke Harada, Atsushi Kotoge, Yohei, and Extreme Tiger battle Kongo's Shuji Kondo, Tadasuke, Hajime Ohara, and Hijo, aka High 69, FKA Miho. My pick to win this one, I find more cohesion with the Kongo unit. And for those wondering, when I say Kongo, I'm not talking about the African Republic. I'm talking about the faction whose name is spelled Kongo, which literally translates to diamonds or diamond stable. So, based on that cohesion and how the Noah Juniors took a bit of a hit recently with Hao being forced out of the company in a match they lost to Tadasuke, I believe in Fukushima a few weeks back, I'm going the Kongo group. In a 10-man tag team match, Masaaki Mochizuki, Shuhei Taniguchi, Kazushi Sakuraba, Daiki Inaba, and Kinya Okada take on SugiuraGun Internationals, Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Rene Dupree, Simon Gotch, Stallion Rogers, and Anthony Green. Now, Sakuraba was not originally in this match. It was supposed to be Yoshiki Inamura. However, due to an injury suffered by Michael Elgin, which led to him and Masa Kitamiya being forced to vacate the GHC heavyweight tag team titles, Inamura was moved into the GHC heavyweight tag title fight, and Sakuraba was asked to fill in for Inamura. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out for the cohesion of this Noah Army unit. I really don't know how this is going to pan out. But I'm not sure if it's going to be of a good thing, especially when Sakuraba himself is part of the core unit of the Sugiura army. For those, I've never heard of Anthony Green until recently, and Stallion Rogers took me a bit to look him up. Turns out he's a former NXT competitor who was thrown out for controversial comments he made against transgenders. Not making that up. So I'm going to go with the SugiuraGun International Quintet to win this matchup. Not because of Stallion Rogers' bias against transgenders, just because it's more of the Noah core unit mismatch. I mean, Masaaki Mochizuki is part of the Marufuji Alliance. Taniguchi was part of the Funky Express before he left and came back as his true self, Shuhei Taniguchi. Inaba and Okada are part of the core unit, and Sakuraba is part of the main SugiuraGun unit. Too much of a mismatch means the signals are going to be mixed between those five. Ninja Mack against Dante Leon. They've been facing each other on and off on the U.S. indie circuit the past couple of years, predominantly in promotions like GCW, PWG, Pro Wrestling Revolver out in Iowa, or at least I'm sure of it. I'm not sure though. So I'm going to take, but for the sake of it, I'm going to go Ninja Mack on this. Next up, a hardcore tag team match. Anything goes, no DQs, no countouts. Perros de Mal de Apon, represented by Nosawa Rongai, and Super Crazy take on the duo of Masato Tanaka and this man. Oh, wrong track. This man. That's right. This Saturday, Masato Tanaka teams up with an old ECW rival to take on one old ECW alum. Tanaka teams up with another in the form of Rob Van Dam. So, the question is, who wins this matchup, in my opinion? I mean, 3 of these 4 men are ECW alums. Van Dam, Tanaka, Super Crazy. Wrong guy is the only one who's the odd man out of this match. I always sound... Hang on a second. You want an Ivy Sprout? I always sound like this, okay? Or are you just gonna troll me just because of how I sound? It's a wheelhouse. It's my wheelhouse, all right? Anyway, as I was saying, who's my pick to win this? Which team is my pick to win this? I'll go with the duo of Tanaka and RVD. They've got far more experience than Wrong Guy and Soups. And Supa. Moving on to our next match. For a 6-man tag. On one side, you have Kongo, made up of Manabu Soya, Katsuhiko Nakajima, and GHC National Openweight Champion Masakatsu Funaki. Their opposition, Go Shiozaki and SugiuraGun's Takashi Sugiura and Kazuyuki Fujita. So 4 out of 6 of these men are former GHC heavyweight champions. Shiozaki having won it 5 times. Sugiura 4 times. Fujita once. Nakajima twice. You also have 4 former national champions. Sugiura twice. Nakajima once. Fujita once. Funaki once. As far as I'm concerned, the win's gotta go to Shiozaki and SugiuraGun. Why? Because personally, I want to see someone knock Funaki off the perch. Now, I want people to understand this. At the end of January, Funaki defeated Keno for the national title in a little less than 5 minutes. And this was back when he was part of the Marufuji Alliance, or M's Alliance. But shortly after that match, he of his own volition, without attacking either Masaki Mochizuki or now Michi Marufuji, amicably left the group and asked Funaki Keno if he could join Kongo, and Keno said yes. Now, don't get me wrong, Funaki has been a valuable asset in terms of keeping the belt within the Kongo ranks. However, my gripe with him is his matches as the champion have been too short. Most of them have not, all of them, none of them have gone over 15 minutes. His first two title defenses against Masaki Mochizuki and Hideki Suzuki of the M's Alliance and SugiuraGun respectively barely went over 5 minutes. His defense against Simon Gotch in April didn't barely went was as close to 10 minutes as you can get without going over 10. And his most recent defense against Masato Tanaka was just over 12. But if he does eat the pin in this match, who gets it? I say give it to Go Shiozaki, mostly to give the guy something to do. Because he's now on the outside looking in yet again. In regards to the GHC heavyweight title picture, after dropping the title in Saitama to Satoshi Kojima, on the first defense, I might want to point out, so I say I'll give it to Shiozaki, Sugiura, and Fujita. Moving on, for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles, Yoshinari Ogawa and Chris Ridgway of Stinger defend against Eita and Kotaro Suzuki of Perros de Mal de Japón. Oh boy. Now, given the fact that all the people in Japan are masked up at wrestling events, even though from what I saw recently at a Ganbare Pro event, at least half the crowd is taking the masks off and allowed to use their voices again. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this show. But that being said, it's hard to tell which is the heel faction, which is the face faction between Stinger and PDM. But if I had to pick one of these two factions, the lesser of the two evils would seem to be Eita and Suzuki. At least that's what my heart is saying. But my head is saying they're not coming out on top of the titles in hand. So on that logic, I'm going to go with Yoshinari Ogawa and Chris Ridgway to retain the GHC Junior Tag titles. Even though Stinger has become more or less a full-blown heel group at this point in time. Next up, the final countdown. Match 1. Keiji Muto, the oldest ever GHC heavyweight champion, takes on the youngest ever GHC heavyweight champion, the Supernova Kaito Kiyomiya. Back in February, when he was one half of the GHC heavyweight tag team champions with Naomichi Marufuji, Muto was forced to vacate the titles. It was due to a hip issue. We would find out later his hip has been deformed. As such, under doctor's orders, he has to retire by next spring. So he's only got 5 matches left. This is match number 1. Something tells me they're going to have him lose the first 4 and win his final match. So I'm going to say Kaito Kiyomiya comes out on top in this match, even if they try the nostalgia BS and give Muto the win. Next up, for the now vacated GHC Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, Masa Kitamiya and Yoshiki Inamura defend again, face off with Hideki Suzuki and Timothy Thatcher of SugiuraGun. I'm going to be blunt. Last month, I did not expect Timothy Thatcher to pop up in Pro Wrestling Noah, let alone throw his lot in with SugiuraGun. Or SugiuraGun, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But given the crap he had to put up with while he was in NXT, never getting out of that hellhole and being put in the main roster, allow himself to go to the main roster, and Vince being a dick, doing a lot of budget cuts and cutting off his contract, Timothy Thatcher, I don't blame for being upset. So now he's in with a chip on his shoulder. He's now in a promotion that basically holds to his credence from the days he had in Ringkampf. That credo is Der Mattes ist heilig, or in German, that the wrestling mat is sacred. The mat is sacred. They are not names on a sushi menu, talking. Anyway, this will be my flip to pick match. Heads, Inamura and Kitamiya pull off the Cinderella miracle. Tails, Suzuki, and Thatcher bring the titles in the SugiuraGun. Here we go. That's going to dent the mouse. But regardless, tails it is. I will take Timothy Thatcher and Hideki Suzuki to capture the GHC Heavyweight Tag Team titles and bring them back into the ranks of into the trophy case of SugiuraGun. Next up in our penultimate matchup, the semi-main for the GHC Heavyweight title. The champion and representing Stinger, Hayata, defends against a former member of Stinger that they threw out, looking for payback, Seiki Yoshioka. I was shocked when Yoshioka got thrown at Stinger. Even his longtime partner and supposed best friend, Yuya Susumu, threw him and stabbed him in the back. Now, I don't know why Stinger has this habit of throwing their guys out just for speaking out of line against Ogawa. I mean, sure, Nogawa is a Noah OG. He was one of the 24 who left with the late Mitsuharu Misawa, left All Japan with the late Mitsuharu Misawa in 2000 to form Pro Wrestling Noah. And Ogawa has basically done just about everything there is in Noah except win the National Openweight title. But that being said, you don't justify questioning the leader's orders to throw him out. Will Yoshioka put up a hell of a fight? Yes. Is Hayata going to be on the defensive against Yoshioka's speed? Yes. But will Yoshioka win this match? Sadly, no. Hayata is going to hit him with the headache. 1, 2, 3. And Hayato will retain the GHC heavyweight, junior heavyweight championship. And now let's get to the main event. For the Global Honor Crown Heavyweight Championship, the champion, Satoshi Kojima of New Japan Pro Wrestling, puts the gold on the line against former GHC heavyweight champion and the leader of the Kongo faction, Keno. Hence why I'm wearing this robe. After Kojima defeated Shiozaki at the Cyber Fight Festival, Keno came out and basically said that belt in your hands is tainted. It has been tainted. In Keno's eyes, the belt should stay in Noah. And Noah alone. With Noah wrestlers and Noah wrestlers alone. I mean, it's coming full circle. 5 years ago, when Eddie Edwards defeated Katsuhiko Nakajima to become the first ever Gaijin to hold the Global Honor Crown Heavyweight Championship, Keno was on a mission to bring the title home. He had to win the N1 Victory Tournament that year to get the title shot. At the final show of 2017, he beat Eddie to win the title back. He'd hold on to it for a few months before losing it to Sugiura in 2018. After that, Keno shifted his focus to the national title, which both himself and Sugiura have made synonymous with each other. But more so with Keno, if you ask me. On the other hand, Kojima is a guy who needed the GHC title to complete the Triple Crown, in his opinion, in what I call the Triple Crown, winning all 3 major Japanese heavyweight titles. Kojima is a 2-time IWGP heavyweight champion in New Japan, 2-time Triple Crown champ in All Japan, and now he's the current GHC heavyweight champion in Noah. Keno does not like the fact that Kojima came down from New Japan to wrestle for the title and take it for his own. Keno views himself as someone who's going to rescue that title. Do I think he has the chops and the guts to do it? Yes. Will he have the level of ferocity he needs to go after Kojima to get that title back? Yes. Will he win it? I don't know, but I'm leaning towards yes. Because I don't really think Noah's dumb enough to keep the title on Kojima for this long, unless they were going to make him a transitional champ. The feel-good kind of champ. But then again, I could be wrong. I mean, after all, they gave Keiji Muto about a 4 to 6 month reign last year when he was the champion before dropping it to Marufuji. Knowing Keno, he's going to politic and demand that does not happen. So I'm going to take Keno to walk in the challenger, but walk out. 37. The 40th Global Honor Crown Heavyweight Champion. He became the 30th when he beat Eddie Edwards in 2017. 2022 can make that come full circle again. And have him be the 40th holder of that title. I've got nothing else left to say. Leave a comment, smash a like, sub to the channel. That's 2128 signing out. I bid you adieu. Goodbye. Good night. Bang.